The sigil Deometh is the primary symbol associated with the Enochian system, or Enochian system. Now, as we know, each point of the pentagram has a correlating body part. Now, why is the pentagram so important when we're talking about the Enochian system? Well, the heart of the sigil Deometh, the very center of it, is the pentagram. And it's something that's overlooked when we're looking at the Enochian system and invoking all these celestial agents. So, we're going to get to the heart of the matter and look at the pentagram and the corresponding celestial agents or angels associated with each point. Now, to recap, the top of the head is spirit, left shoulder is water, left hip is fire, right hip is earth, right shoulder is air. Each point of the pentagram has a corresponding planet and a corresponding celestial agent. Now, I use the term celestial agent, but you may use angel. That's okay. That's just my preference. The top of the head, the uppermost point of the pentagram, is associated with the planet Jupiter, and the celestial agent is Zedekeiel. The left shoulder, the next point of the pentagram, is Mars. The element is water, the planet is Mars, and the celestial agent associated with the second point of the pentagram, going clockwise, is Madimiel. And I'll write these names in the description below. The next point of the pentagram we find at the left hip. Now, the planetary association is the sun. Now, we now know that the sun is not a planet, it's a star. So we have the sun at the left hip at the third point of the pentagram, and the celestial agent associated with this point is Semeliel. The element is fire, by the way. The next point of the pentagram is found at the right hip. Now, the elemental association is earth, and the celestial agent associated with this is Nogahel. Right shoulder, we have the element of air. The planetary association is Mercury, and the celestial agent is Corabiel. Now, I've gone back and forth between Corabiel and Corabiel. You can actually experiment with the names of these celestial agents. I have found that no matter how you pronounce the name, and excuse my horrible American accent, by the way, no matter how you pronounce these names, the end result is almost always the same. Now, I've done a lot of work with Corabiel or Corabiel, using both these names, these pronunciation of this particular agent, and the result is always the same. Very, very intense. So that's my favorite celestial agent in the Enochian system. So to invoke each agent specifically, of course, we would draw the pentagram in very specific manners. So obviously for Zedekeiel, we would go from crown here, right shoulder, left shoulder, right hip. So whenever you're drawing geometrical shapes on the body that are odd numbers, like 3s and 5s, you can pretty much assume that you will end where you begin. So I've drawn pentagrams and triangles and things like that are actually quite simple. So For Madimiel, it would be left shoulder here, ending where you began. Semeliel, the same thing here, ending where you began. Now, when you're invoking each celestial agent specifically, you would spend a little bit of time, depending upon what you're trying to accomplish, on each point, especially when you're doing it with a partner like we're doing here. You would invoke the celestial agent by drawing the pentagram in a very specific manner, and then focusing on the name of the agent. The Enochian system is perfect for divination. It's extremely powerful for divination. I wouldn't necessarily use the Enochian or Enochian system for actual magic, because getting angelic energies to do your bidding could prove to be quite taxing. It's very difficult. But for divination, it's perfect. So this is the pentagram, the corresponding elements, and the corresponding celestial agents associated with the heart and foundation of the Enochian system.